and living guide. Happy Cow.
What are 5 things that vegans can do to increase or improve their health?
I have a mantra, and I want people to memorize this, and I want them to write it down on a card and put it right on the refrigerator with tape or something. It is the salad is the main dish. And that means at least once a day, I want people to eat a large salad as the main dish. And I want them to put all those healthy things in the salad because raw vegetables are one of the most dramatic and powerful factors in making you live long and protecting against disease. And then if you're going to eat a salad as the main dish, then they have to put a healthy salad dressing. You don't want to put 500 calories of unhealthy dressing or oil on top of 35 calories of raw vegetables, and you might as well just drink the dressing straight from the bottle. The second thing is we want people to eat nuts and seeds, at least an ounce, but maybe an ounce based on your activity level and caloric needs between 1 and 4 ounces a day. But the point is we want people to use real food, real whole food, nuts and seeds in place of oil in their salad dressing. So that'd be whipping up maybe a little vinegar with orange and sesame seeds and raw cashews or tomato sauce and roasted garlic and almonds and sunflower seeds and a little balsamic vinegar or fig vinegar with a fig or a raisin. In other words, we want people to make health so the dressings are healthy as well. So that's the second thing. The first thing is the salad, and the second thing is the healthy dressing made with nuts and seeds. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, number 3, we want people to eat beans as a regular part of their diet. Because beans, if we rate all carbohydrate-rich food on a hierarchical scale, beans have higher nutrient levels, higher fiber, higher resistant starch. They produce better growth of bacteria in the gut. They've got, and they have better powerful anti-cancer effects. And in almost every study tested in people who live long lives, bean intake is linked to life extension properties. So we joke around. We say the studies show men who eat beans twice a week have half the rate of colon cancer. Imagine if men ate beans every day, they'd have no cancer at all, but they wouldn't have any friends left, but they have no cancer. But the point is that when you eat beans regularly, they stop producing gas. But the beneficial effects of beans are very, very important. And that's why I recommend people make a big pot of soup or a stew once a week. Like in my house, we make a giant pot of soup every on the weekend, and we put in carrot juice and tomato juice and celery juice, and we put in mushrooms and onions and beans and green vegetables like collards and mustard greens and zucchinis and leeks and we put herbs and spices in there, and then we eat it for dinner, let's say on Sunday night, but then we have it packed up into 15 different containers so I can run to work with a salad and a bowl of soup and a piece of fruit. I have my lunches made for the whole week by that, and it's making me make sure I have beans every day, and I could make the soup and put it on top of the salad as a dressing. But in any case, that's the second thing. Make a soup and get some beans into you. That's number 3. The first was the greens, the second was the raw green vegetables, the second was the nuts and seeds, and the third is the beans, and then the fourth and fifth and sixth and seventh are berries, and then onions and mushrooms. And let's talk about that briefly because I made an acronym called GBOMBS. That's GBOMBS. Greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds, to help people remember the foods with the most powerful anti-cancer effect, and to remember that this portfolio of foods, eaten synergistically in a person's diet, has dramatic effects on protecting yourself against later life cancer. Imagine if all Americans ate G-bombs every day. It would revolutionize healthcare in America. So we're talking here about the power of mushrooms, for example. There's a study on mushrooms that women who had just 10 grams of mushrooms the size of your thumb had a 64% low risk of breast cancer. Unbelievable. Mushrooms have multiple beneficial factors, including something called aromatase inhibitors, which is like the drug tamoxifen, but mushrooms don't have any negative side effects, those tamoxifen inhibitors. They have an affinity for breast tissue, for women's breasts, to protect them from being overly stimulated with estrogen. We're talking here about a powerfully protective food that should be eaten regularly. And then, of course, berries. Berries like blackberries and blueberries and wild blueberries and raspberries, they're even shocking the scientists doing the studies of the powerful effect that berries have cancer. So do you eat some fruit every day, and do you try to eat some berries or pomegranate in your diet on a regular basis?
I certainly do.
You do. So you're keeping in mind those G-bombs. And then the raw onion. Raw onion has an enzyme in onion called alliinase. And the enzyme is heat sensitive. So if you eat a little raw onion, like a little red onion in your salad eaten raw, then you're going to have the maximum effect of the enzyme producing those anti-cancer organosulfide compounds. So we're talking here about the right foods, the right way to prep them, and have the full complement of these foods in your diet.
What are the top 3 ingredients that you would put into your salad?
Well, I was waiting for you to ask me that question. It's a very important question because the most powerful anti-cancer food on the whole new dietary horizon are cruciferous green vegetables because they supply a lot of different compounds, especially ITCs. Isothiocyanates is what ITCs are. And they're formed in the mouth as you're chewing them. And because there's an enzyme that's heat sensitive called myrosinase that can be destroyed with cooking. So we want to eat some raw cruciferous vegetables on a regular basis. That means you want to put some shredded red cabbage or green cabbage or watercress or arugula or kale. In other words, the cruciferous green vegetable family, cabbages and Brussels sprouts and kale and broccoli rabe and mustard greens and turnip greens and radishes and cauliflower. So we want to eat some raw cruciferous every day. We want to intentionally put that on our salad. Maybe you chop up some fine watercress or arugula or put some shredded red cabbage on there. Very important to add to your salad. The next thing is we just mentioned put a little bit of thinly sliced tomato or scallion on the salad. A little bit of that in that is very, very important. Because even a small amount goes a long way, supplying those beneficial, powerful enzymes. And the enzyme in the onion is called alliinase.
When you say scallions, what about scallion versus onions? Same thing?
No, they're both in the same family,
right.
And they're both excellent foods, and I want people to utilize both of them if possible, but at least one or the other. There's different types of foods in that family. I'm just mentioning scallions and onions as two examples, but there are other foods like ramps and things. But in any case, put some of that raw in your salad. I didn't even used to like onion when I was younger, but I learned about their powerful anti-cancer benefits, and I started adding it to food more. And now I love it. You develop a taste for it, and it's really good for you too. Like for example, I'll make a cooked kale dish. Well, I'll steam kale on a timer for like 8 minutes. Then I'll put it into a towel and fold it up to make it dry. I'll chop it, mix it with like a cashew cream sauce. I'll put like raw cashews and a little unsweetened soy milk, a little nutritional yeast or roasted garlic. I'll make a cream sauce for it. I'll put a little like tomato sauce on top of that, and then I'll put like some raw chopped red onion on top of the tomato sauce and the creamy white kale. So and I like that little crunch. And so I'm saying adding the raw onion to the cooked vegetable dishes as well. And adding a little bit of the raw cruciferous in the same meal as the cooked cruciferous. So the myrosinase enzyme is supplied to make you produce more ITCs from the cooked food you're eating. So the point is that modern nutritional science has afforded us the opportunity to really push the envelope of human longevity, to really live a life without fear of disease, and reach our fullest potential and our fullest potential for happiness too. And it's just really, it's somewhat sad that we've gone in the wrong direction. And our population is really committing suicide with food and is severely addicted to foods that are destroying their health, that can't be sustained because we can't pay for these health. We have so many sick people, and that amount of sick people and the medical and the monetary cost of that represents a tremendous amount of human tragedy and human suffering that is needless. And then people have to recognize this because you can make healthy foods taste great, and we can make great tasting desserts. We can make great tasting. In other words, it's another skill and experience and trial and error, but we have people and great chefs and great minds devising incredible ways to make healthy food taste great and instructing people how to prepare them to maintain the nutrients. And people have to take advantage of this information and this opportunity.
And going back to beans, what are the 3 healthiest beans according to Dr. Fuhrman?
Well, I have to preface that and say all beans are healthy. I use split peas are healthy, and lentils are healthy, and chickpeas are healthy. But probably to answer your question, it's the red and black beans are probably the healthiest because they have a little more fiber and resistant starch. But beans in particular are a very good carbohydrate choice for the person who's overweight or diabetic because they have a lower glycemic load, and they have more fiber, and they have more resistant starch, which most of those resistant starch calories goes through you into the toilet bowl. They don't come into the body as calories. So they help people with metabolic issues.
And what are the top 3 nuts that you would recommend?
Well, I want everybody to eat some flax seeds or chia seeds a day. That's like a rule because they're powerfully rich in lignans, and they have powerful effects against breast and prostate cancer. Even a study showed that women who ate a small amount of lignans a day, like less than half of a milligram, and don't forget a teaspoon of flaxseed has 7 milligrams. So women who ate a half of a milligram followed for 10 years because they all had breast cancer. These were women who had a diagnosis of breast cancer, followed for 10 years with a 71% decreased mortality from breast cancer, who had some lignin in their diet compared to none. But that's only a half of a milligram. So they would have had more protection if they ate the whole tablespoon of flax seeds or chia seeds, and they would have had more protection if they had started it before they got cancer, because later in life you make you improve, it reduces the chances of the benefits. So we want people to make these changes earlier in life, not wait till they get cancer, and then we're going to really kind of have a tremendous protective effects. The next one will be walnuts. After that, it'll be pistachio nuts. So it's important to eat some walnuts on a regular basis, too. Walnuts have a lot of protective effects on brain, aging of the brain, and just beneficial effects on the heart. They're a very important food for people to eat.
Some people I know are trying the vegan diet to lose weight, and they often go on these yo-yo diets. Why are yo-yo diets not good for us?
The word diet has different connotations and meanings. Some people use the word diet, some they're going on to lose weight, like the word diet. But everybody's on some kind of diet. That's the other definition of diet. I want people to